Well, in a nutshell, I'm a bi-coastal, born and bred in New Jersey, but educated in California, overachieving adult child of an alcoholic raconteur who was once amateur golf champion of the state of New Jersey and his Catholic codependent schoolteacher wife. I have a PhD in health education from NYU and a 9-page resume. But now at 67, I'm shifting to writing and public speaking as my career. And for this icebreaker, what I'm going to do is give you 4 30 to 60 second pitches for books that I have in process that tell the Pat Hanson story. I would like you to imagine that these pitches you heard from me in an elevator between floors or at a Pitchalooza contest, and you are agents or literary publishers. Pitch number 1. Hopelessly heterosexual, question mark. My screenplay and novel, set in 1990, is a cinema verite look inside a human sexuality classroom where its protagonist, Jackie Wilkinson, returns to teach at the California Party School where she learned about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Witness Jackie's, as you walk in and out of her classroom at scenes that are sometimes delightful and sometimes shocking, but then she's brought to her knees by a female student accusing her of sexual harassment. She seeks therapy and continues her checkered search for intimacy in 12-step groups. And essentially, Tenure Track is the subtitle for Hopelessly Heterosexual, and it's a beady-eyed indictment of academia and a power struggle between women there, with themes of jealousy and betrayal and forgiveness, and last but not least, internalized homophobia. Pitch number 2. Do you want a relationship where you get back as much as you give? One in which you finish each other's sentences and never run out of things to talk about, and people say you are joined not only at the hip but the cerebral cortex. One in which passion lubricates your sex life well into your 50s and 60s. It can and did happen to me. My book, In Search of a Significant Equal, someone who shares your energies and your intellect on an equal basis, follows the labyrinth of choices I made in my life. It starts in the 70s when I lived in New York City. I call it my Sex and the City years, the pre-AIDS era, and follows me down many blind paths and dangerous dead ends. It then moves to a decade when I lived in rural upstate New York, where working very hard to try to make it at traditional marriage and motherhood. It then finds me relocated back in California, still searching, but a lot more carefully in my late 40s. Its last chapter, Significant Equal, found his view and mine, details a spiritually ordained, never-ending love story, now in its 18th year. Pitch number 3. Stillness, my final frontier. This is a series of creative personal essays about experiences I have taken over 4 decades to achieve that ever elusive concept of peace of mind. It opens at a 10-day Vipassana meditation retreat I called Meditation Boot Camp that I took in 2005, the same week that my son completed Navy SEAL Training's Hell Week. It moves through things I did like psychoanalysis and Gestalt therapy, Tai Chi, kind of movement meditation, sound healing, the S training, and it ends with finding a spirituality I was comfortable with in Science of Mind and New Thought Religion. And last, pitch number 4. Last but not least, I am an invisible grandparent. I have 2 grandchildren, ages 10 and 12, that I do not get to participate fully in their lives in because of circumstances out of my control. There is an empty spot on my counter for cards that I don't get and thank you notes for presents I can't send. And there are millions of others out there like me who, because of their children's career choices, because of divorce and complicated custody issues, because of personality conflicts over things like religion and sexual orientation, and even choices made long ago about adoption or abortion, do not get to see their grandchildren. Invisible grandparenting, leave a legacy of love whether you can be there or not, details my story and others and ways we have tried to heal. Mine was to write letters, some to be shared and saved for a later date, a hypothetical date, others to be written and released and let go of to transform negative energy to forgiveness. Invisible grandparenting is a virtual blueprint for anybody that wants to leave memories for their grandchildren, because we will all outlast the age and stage at which our descendants are interested and ready to hear our heritage. Thank you, agents and editors and Toastmasters.